Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream. Yes, it's Saturday night, 30th of April, 2022, and I just want to welcome everybody to the live stream. I kind of scheduled this a little bit late officially. I'm just going to tip the camera down a little bit, but I kind of put out the poll on the community feed quite a bit earlier today, so I didn't really give you any no options. So I don't know if anybody saw the kind of irony of that or funniness in that. So yeah, I see we've got a few people here already live. That's fantastic. Again, just if you're not aware, I've got a screen over here and a screen right in front of me. So if you see my eyesight not looking at the camera, I'm sorry. The camera is also slightly above me. I'm trying to get not have the reflection. I've got reflection everywhere, but I'm trying not to get the reflection as much as possible. So yeah, so there's a few people here already. We're going to just have a bit of a chit chat. We're going to I'm going to answer a few of the questions from the comments from videos as well, because I kind of keep getting a lot of the same comments, and I thought it's just a little bit, I guess, appropriate to kind of go through a couple of them here and there. A few regulars are here as well. Easelcat, how's it going? Again, I can't see who's here if you don't comment. I can just see, obviously, comments. I know that sounds weird, but there isn't a kind of back of house that shows you people that are here in the live stream who don't mention in the comment system. So I will kind of pick up on where people have commented. So yeah. And we have someone else who's in. Roman is here. Sorry, I remember from last time. Now I recognize your name from last time. William S said he's waiting. So Heather is in the house as well. 3:30 in the morning. Actually, it's 8:30 p.m. here, by the way. So if anyone's not aware where I am, I'm here in Moscow, Russia. I actually live in what's called Moscow region. So I'm not kind of close to the center of Moscow. It's about probably 45 minutes by car away. If you were to drive from exactly where we live, the highway that goes directly into Moscow center is quite close by. So yeah, 3:30 in the morning. Wow. Okay, you're very dedicated. Thank you, Heather. Real Moscow Projects is here. How's it going? I didn't really get back that long ago. It's 8:30 now. I got back about 7 p.m. I went out to Megatropolistan. So yeah, if anybody likes the shopping mall kind of walk around videos, I went and sort of did a refilming, if you like. I'd originally done the video there, I think about more than a month ago now, if I remember right. I'm not sure exactly. So I've done a bit of another walk around. It's not probably as long once it edits out. And, the bits where I film and then walk and film and then walk. So, yeah. So I see there is a few people also here. Yeah, so we do have Real Moscow Projects is one of the moderators. You'll see a little blue spanner next to her name. Unfortunately, naturally, the way this channel works and a lot of the comments, some people are going to be maybe not positive on some things. So as long as it's friendly and it's not mentioning certain words or certain people, then it pretty much will all stay as chat in the chat. So yeah, Roman says you're the best national team in rugby. I guess you're referencing Australia, I think. Yeah, we have rugby. We have a lot of different football sports or ball sports, I guess. So we have rugby league, rugby union. So the rugby union is the one where it's the Wallabies, the All Blacks, the Pumas are the Argentinian team. So Blogging Truckers here as well. How's it going? That's really nice to see you from New York. How's it going? It's going good. Now, I do have some news in a second. I'll just get through the last of these few comments so we kind of catch up. Yeah, it's doing very well, without a doubt. All Blacks are the best. Are the best rugby team. I'm not a big rugby fan. Now, unfortunately, though, being an Australian, I've got to support every team, every sport, everything that we win or lose in. So, and naturally, the All Blacks, which is New Zealand, is our kind of arch enemy, arch rival, I guess, in sport, particularly in rugby, also in cricket, field hockey, things like that. So it's 1:34 p.m. in New York. Yes, 8:30 p.m. here. So you've got your day just ahead of you. You had a long walk today. Yeah, well, I didn't walk. I caught the actually I didn't catch the I caught the bus. I walked to the bus stop where I live, and then very typically in the morning times where we live here, so we wait at the bus stop, but cars pull up. This is how Russia works. So cars pull up and they offer you a lift, so to speak, to the metro station. So there was a car already just parked up nearby the bus stop, and that's pretty normal as a car pulled up there. And I thought the guy I might have been the first passenger. And he's like, no, jump in. And there was already 3 people in there. So I was the 4th person. There's 3 in the back, 1 in the front, and the driver. And you pay the same amount as you pay the bus. Actually, it's 10 rubles more. So, and the guy literally was doing 120, 130 down the Kiev highway, because that's the highway that runs from where we live to Moscow center. So yeah, he was absolutely going like the clappers. He had a very nice car too. So it didn't feel sort of too, stop, start, jerky in the traffic. So it was, that was pretty quick. And then I basically got there, then went straight to the bus. There's a bus from the metro station that took me out to the shopping mall or shopping center. So actually the shopping center is the one that had the IKEA in it. So if you go back, if anyone wants to watch some of the older videos, if you go back to the first maybe 4 or 5 videos, the one with the IKEA as the thumbnail of the video is the one where I did the walk around of that shopping center. So this is kind of like a bit of a reboot of it, just to point out some of the shops. And it was busier. I mean, it never looks busy on the camera though. That's the thing, And I actually had a really nice chat with a couple. There was a lady that came up to me. It was a husband and wife, and she thought I was, are you a vlogger? I'm like, yeah, I make videos. Very hesitant to mention it at first. And we chatted for about probably 45 minutes talking about, everything in the world and, what I'm doing here in Moscow. And, and she talked about the possibility of me being like a spy. I've got to whisper it quietly. And I'm like, would I be a spy for Australia at the shopping center? I don't know what secrets I'm revealing about a shopping center that's not already kind of common knowledge. So yeah, that would scare the heck out of you. Yeah, it's very normal here to have cars pull up particularly at the bus stop where we live, and you get a lift then to the metro station or to the bus station. It's the same place in the shopping center. And then so most of the drivers that do that are basically kind of they're using their own car, and it's basically they're getting petrol money, I guess. I don't know how you'd look at it. They only get a one-way trip because you really can't pick up people to come back because of the way the bus station's set up there. Yeah, especially in the early morning time, like if you're going to work 7, 8 in the morning, there's a line of people for the bus, and you may not even get on it. So getting in these cars is beautiful because it's just much more comfier, right? I mean, it was a very comfy ride. But I was just looking, it had like a digital dashboard. I don't know what model of car it was, and I just saw that to the needle going 120, creeping up. So, but the highway is, there was being a weekend, there was not as much traffic on the highway as midweek. So it was a good sort of trip. Now, are you going to be doing more electric city bus tours? We are blogging on this topic as well in the near future. Oh, yeah, that's the thing with this channel, right? So the video that really took off for this channel was the bus tour. Well, the electric buses that were at Kiev train station. And I kind of was a bit worried that the channel might become about buses or about public transport. And I do enjoy that kind of stuff to film and go on. And actually, like the bus today that I took out to the shopping center, that was actually, I believe that was a LNG gas bus. I don't think they have electric buses at the bus station today. because they need charging stations at the kind of bus stations for them to have that type of bus, if that makes sense. So I'm pretty sure that was LNG, the bus that I took today. But you know what? Actually, I know it's not particularly good of me, but these blue buses that run high frequency in Moscow, if you actually kind of look carefully enough, very few people pay for the bus ride. There's a tap and go kind of a little meter on the door as you come in. There's a front door, middle, and a back door. And pretty much, I would say 99% of people aren't paying for their bus trip. And my bus trip there and back, I didn't pay for today. So, but a lot of people who catch the metro or the buses, if you catch them within 90 minutes, you won't have to pay the second fare. It's kind of like a continuation fare. So I think a lot of people kind of think that that's what it is, but you're meant to tap your card just to acknowledge that you're on or off the bus. So, I mean, the bus drivers are basically locked in the cab at the front. They just basically run the routes they have to. It's actually stopping at designated bus stops, the one that I took to the shopping center today. So, you know, it's not like a press the button to stop the bus at a bus stop kind of style. So, yeah. Roman's asking Mac, Linux, or Windows. If you're asking what I'm running here, it's a Windows laptop. It's a Dell XPS 15 laptop, if you want to know the whole thing that I've got set up. The best laptop I've owned in my life is now my third Dell laptop. I've only ever owned Dells. And it's beautiful. It's got the carbon fiber kind of keyboard top here, and then the metal lid. I don't know what you call that. And then I've got two Dell monitors. These are the exact monitors I had in Australia. And then I bought them, and then we obviously made the decision to come to Russia. This is back 8 months ago. And I sold them to my brother-in-law pretty much for the price I paid for them, because they were literally brand new in the box. And then as soon as I got over here, I basically bought the same ones back again, and then set up my desk here. And then this is something that I added recently, the Rode microphone. So yeah, so I guess Windows. Okay, Mac, Linux, I don't know. So it's a religion question. Oh, okay. I guess I'm a Windows person, and my phone is Samsung. It's an Android phone, so I'm not an Apple person at all. So, no comment. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat. No comment. You would win medals if mood lifting was an Olympic discipline. Thank you. Yeah, I'm always positive and always happy, and always, this is me normally. I can't be straight-faced and not happy. I know that sounds weird, but it's very difficult for me to get mad or upset about things, or kind of things get me down, because, things do happen, right? Things are not good, and, everything's not right. But yeah, now the only thing is I'd have to represent Australia, because even though I'm in Russia, I'd still represent as an Australian. Oh, now, so thank you, 75 DKK. I wonder if that's Dutch crooners. You know, a crooner is those guys that are in those bars drinking whiskey, and there's someone playing piano, right? A crooner. Is that and kroner is the currency, I believe. So, now, Peace asks me, actually, this will be the first part of the answer of, did I have a good day today? Yes. Did I get my visa from the other morning? I did. Yes. So last week, so it's Saturday now. Last week on Tuesday, we went to the visa office in Moscow to take my passport, and I thought I was going to get my visa there and then. Jen came with me. We went there together, and they just asked me just to give them the passport and a couple of documents that we'd already prepared ahead of time. So they said, okay, just leave your passport and come back in 2 days. So that would have been Thursday. So Thursday I decided just to go there on my own, because Jen had to work for most of the day. And yes, I now have I don't have it right here. I'll have it for another live stream, I promise. I have my visa. Now I wonder. Oh, hang on a second. Do I have? What's up? Where did I wonder if I can show you it on a screenshot, because it's kind of basically I've got two visas in there. So one is handwritten, which is what's called the RVP. RVP. Let's just see if I've got. Yes, here it is. So I don't think it's giving any secrets away. I'll flash it up. Somebody can probably, I don't know, screenshot it and save it and sell it or something. So that's the first visa that I've got. That's really probably, short of someone being Russian and being able to read it, this is my, I guess, temporary residency visa. And I thought this was what they were going to give me. I'm like, what? It's handwritten. It's literally a stamp from a stamp pad. And then they've handwritten the information, partly in English and in Russian, of course. And then that's the visa that I got. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was a bit worried. Oops, I'll just go back the other way there. And then this is the actual official visa, which would be the one I'd use going through the airport, which is my basically also it's considered temporary residency visa, but they call it temporary residency visa. So it's good for 3 years now, and then it will be renewable again for additional 3 years. So I guess if I show that one to everybody, there's only a few people that can probably read it. So yeah, that's the visa right there. So yeah, it's all done. The kind of positive part about this, right, is if I'd have applied for it within the first weeks of getting here and it being approved like that so quickly, I'd have already run 7 months of the visa. So essentially, I've lived here 7.5 months. Let's call it visa free. And then the visa started on the, where are we there? The 20. No, that's the, okay, that's when it, oh yeah, 22nd. Okay, I guess they count it as the 22nd. Why do they count on the 22nd? I guess that's probably the day that they called me to go to the office. So I bought some water. Actually, I bought some water today and yesterday, but it's lemon flavored water, which is very nice. So what's the other photos? Oh, that's all the photos. So yeah, let's just go across over here. We'll just end the sharing for a little bit. So yeah, the visa is all set now. So I've been here 7.5 months. I'll call it close to 8 months. And then now I've got 3 more years. If obviously I can now fly in and out of the country. So blogging trucker. And then if anyone else is from the cruise channel over here watching, I can now literally fly in and out of Russia completely without any issues, get on a plane, leave the country, fly back, enter the country as essentially a resident, if that makes sense. I guess temporary resident. I don't like the word temporary resident because you are, but you're really not. So, Real Moscow said she had a Mac for 10 years, but then bought Windows gaming notebook. It's better for video making. Yeah, I pretty much all my videos I edit on my phone. I've tried to get into doing video editing on the computer, and I guess I just probably don't know how to use it properly yet to do it properly. Does that make sense? So yeah, thank you, peace. The visa is done and set, and I can breathe easier now. I really thought that to the day when I went with Jen together, we were going to get the visa there and then. I thought they just have to put the sticker in, or we weren't sure at the time which one it would be, and it ended up being both. So it's a kind of a rubber stamp visa. That's the I guess they're both the same visa, but there's just 2 different forms of it. I guess the other one's an electronic one for scanning. So you recommend me to use a Moavi video editor. Oh, I'll have to look that one up. I have, which is the one I've got downloaded here. Oh no, I don't have it anymore. Okay, I was using one of the editors anyway. I tried it, and I guess I've just not got the patience to do it quickly or slowly. I kind of want to do videos very quickly. Once I film them, I want to edit them and get them sort of straight away live. and on the straight up onto the screen, if that makes sense. So yeah, happy for you and Jen. Yeah, thank you, Peace. Yes, it's I can breathe now. Now Jen's happy that if I want to go back to work to the cruise ships, I can fly straight from here to, well, essentially to America, and then fly back to Russia tomorrow. We kind of joked at the time. Now, if we have a big falling out and a argument, I can literally just go straight to the airport from here now and fly somewhere. The only bigger problem is being able to pay for the ticket, because obviously my cards don't work here. So my ATM card and then my Visa card, my Australian cards from my Australian accounts don't work because of the banking system essentially is not working for non-Russian cards. So on an opposite note, I guess positive note, I can now get a Russian bank accounts. I did previously have a Russian bank account when Jen was applying for her Australian visa, because we use that as kind of evidence of our ongoing relationship. So I had set up some, I think there were joint bank cards with her account. So now I'll be able to set up the, I'm not sure which bank, I think Spearbank. That's the kind of one that Jen uses predominantly. So I'm going to set up the same thing. So yeah, I'm happy as well. Peace, it's a big deal. So yeah, that's kind of for Blogging Trucker there. That's, I guess, one part of the good, that was kind of part of the good news really, was being able to get the visa sorted out. Well, it's been a few days now. So yeah, so if I can figure out what I want to do about going back to the cruise ships, I could fly from here and then go straight to work 4 or 6 months and then fly back to Moscow. And Jen would be happy because she really just wants me to go to buy her some perfume. Because if you're not aware, about the way, everybody, I work on cruise ships, or I was working on cruise ships for the last over 20 years. And I was working in the duty-free shops on the cruise ships. So if you've traveled through an airport or internationally, you're probably aware of the shops on cruise ships. And I was selling predominantly the liquor and tobacco on the cruise ships. So obviously in the duty-free, they've got, sunglasses, perfume, watches, handbags, all that kind of stuff. And working for the company, you get discounts, right? So my goal is, well, Jen's goal is for me to get kind of some cheap discounted branded products as much as I possibly can. So yeah, actually that day, I know not everybody's a big McDonald's fan, but basically I went from the visa office there in Moscow. It was in Kitygorod. Kitygorod is the metro station. It's the area basically where a lot of the embassies are, and I guess some of the government offices are in the same area. And then I went to Komsomolskaya train station, which is where the McDonald's was. And I went and had McDonald's. Yeah, so sorry everybody that I went. I didn't actually film any part of that. I just literally went there. I took one photo, which I put on Google Maps. So I sat down and had a Big Mac meal and an extra cheeseburger, because it's very cheap for Big Mac meals here. Actually, my old receipt from when I went last time, it was 254 rubles. So it was about $3 for a Big Mac meal, give or take a few cents. So yeah, it's gone up a little bit now in the one there. There's 3 McDonald's still open in Moscow. The one at Komsomolskaya metro station, train station, and then there's one at the 2 different international airports. Roman wants to know, maybe it's rude, sorry in advance, how much did you get paid on a cruise ship? Now, Roman, this is, it's not rude at all, by the way. I've got no worries being open and asking as many questions as humanly possible. The one taboo on cruise ships, and the one thing that you don't talk about on cruise ships, especially really with each other who work on cruise ships, is you never talk about each other's salary. It's been a forever thing for my entire career working on ships, and I think for years before that, that everybody working on cruise ships kind of knows what the next crew member is getting paid. So from the captain through all the officers, staff, crew, right down to the engine room guys, if you want to call it that, or the cleaners, pot wash, the guys washing dishes in the galley. We all kind of know what we all earn, but we don't ever talk about it with each other. You know what I mean? We don't, I earn more than you earn more than me. How much do you earn? How much should I earn? Because it's, it's not a secret. I mean, everybody knows that, roughly what everybody earns. But if you kind of really kind of put it down to kind of how many hours you do, how much skill you have, what's your history before cruise ships. I mean, there's some incredibly overqualified people working on cruise ships doing jobs that they're nowhere near qualified for, or they're just doing something completely opposite what their qualifications are. So a good example is what we call the garbage room, or environmental services, they like to call them now. So these guys are basically doing garbage separation, recycling, on and offload of garbage in the ports. And it's not a nice job. It's smelly, it's dirty, it's sweaty. And they don't get awfully well paid. They don't get very well paid. But, you'll talk to these guys, and a lot of them from the Philippines, Indonesia, predominantly Filipinos. And you talk to them and they're like, oh, yeah, I've got a degree in economics, or I've got a degree in, hotel management, or I've done, some sort of maybe trade, like I'm a plumber or a carpenter, or I was maybe a hairdresser. You can even get guys that are hairdressers, but they want to work on cruise ships, and then they end up working in the garbage room. Or the politically correct word now is environmental services. That's the name of that, what they're doing. And you kind of know they don't earn great money, but, if you compare it to where they live, it's great money. If you compare it to Asian countries like Indonesia, Philippines, India, I guess, these kind of areas, it's very good money. It's kind of in a bit of a way, like, I mean, if I was to compare what I was earning on cruise ships to an Australian wage, it's definitely less. If I was to compare working in retail shops on land, especially in Australia, for the year and a half before I came to Russia, I was working in supermarkets, in liquor stores, at petrol stations, doing merchandising and retailing of the stores. And what I earned on cruise ships was less money, but I didn't have any expenses. So on cruise ships, you don't pay for food. Essentially, you don't have to pay for drinks. So things like water, juice, coffee, tea. The mess, or the where you eat, it's got breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight buffet. Essentially, it's buffet food. Being a staff member, you could go to public areas on the ship. So you can go to this passenger dining room, or the passenger buffets up by the swimming pool area of a cruise ship. Your cabin is taken care of. You have a cabin cleaner. Your laundry is done for you. So you've got zero expenses. The only true expense you would have working on the cruise ship, it would be for personal care items, things like toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, shampoo. So you could really keep what you spend to work every day down to a minimum. So just another way to put it too, without saying any numbers, because this really is a taboo thing, but it's interesting kind of to talk about, is think about what you're earning per month. This is for everybody in the chat. Think about what you earn per month for your job, or fortnight. A lot of people get paid fortnightly. Here in Moscow, I think a lot of people get paid monthly. And think about what percentage of that you're saving on a monthly basis, where you would literally take that money, put it in an envelope, put it under your pillow, put it on under your mattress, maybe keep it in a bank account, and figure out what percentage that is. What kind of number? Like, is it 5%, 10%, 30%? And be realistic with yourself. How much do you think you're saving? Now, if I look at cruise ships, I mean, if I look at land in Australia, I reckon it's 5 or 10%. And that's probably being generous. I mean, when Jen was there with me together, I said to her, I said, look, we can spend everything in the bank as long as we're not spending more than what we're earning. You know what I mean? You can't be negative, right? So, and I said to her, look, you've got your cards, they're linked to my accounts. You're also working, whatever you earn, you can spend. And as long as we can pay our, our phone bills, electricity bill, rent, we're good. I already own my car, so I didn't have any outgoings. So I reckon it was probably 5%, maybe 10, and that's probably, somewhere in that kind of figure. On cruise ships, this is where the opposite is then. So you could save, if you really kind of want to be kind of very disciplined and sort of say, look, I'm going to go do a 6-month, 8-month contract. Maybe I'll work for a couple of years on cruise ships. You could save 80 or 90% of your wage per month. 80 or 90% you could put in your pocket, send it home, do MoneyGram, whatever you're going to do, PayPal, not PayPal, MoneyGram, Western Union, or card-to-card transfer. I was sending money to Jen while I was on the ships in America, and then I was sending money to my Australian bank account as well. Because we were getting paid on a Visa debit card. We essentially got paid into an American bank account. So yeah, if think about it for everybody. There's quite a few of us still here live watching. So think about it in your head. Not doing too big calculations, but how much money do you think of what you earn you could just put under your mattress? Let's call it that, right? That's the safest place, isn't it? It's not in the bank where it could disappear, or I don't know, whatever happens, but it's under your mattress. I don't know. We have in our other room, by the way, we have I talked about this in the other live stream, and I gave this sort of tip. I think it was to Peace, wasn't it, or somebody else? We have we call it the secret stash. Jen and I, we've got a box, like a little magnetic box that we've got cash in there, and it's basically money that we're either saving or we've put aside for rainy days. And it's our kind of secret stash. There's only 2 of us live here, and we both know where it is, so it's not secret. But Jen, this is how the good luck came about for the visa. Jen, a few weeks ago, put the cash bills in front of a small mirror, and I'm pretty sure it was the same day or the next day. This is going back 3 or 4 weeks ago now. We got a phone call. Oh, your visa's ready. We can go to the next stage of getting it ready to pick up and get it put in the passport. And we're like, oh, okay. We went through that, and then we called and said, just wait. And then a couple of days, it was Tuesday when I went. So I guess it was Sunday or Monday. I rearranged a little bit in the other room. Jen was at work. I made the bed and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, let me just go and have a look in the secret stash and just put the money nice and straight in front of the mirror again. Because it was like a bit of a thing that Jen said. It's an old Russian, I don't know, fable or truth. And that same day, I think it was the same day. I wish I wrote all this down. Jen calls me from work, and she said, oh, the visa place is called. Your visa, you can come tomorrow and bring your passport. And what? I'm like, and I said to her on the phone, you know why they're calling, don't you? And I'm like, she's like, well, huh? Yeah, they tell me it's ready. No, I put money in front of that mirror again. And there you go. And the visa's now already organized. So if anyone needs any good luck, let me know, and I'll put some money in front of the mirror here. And I can bring somebody some good luck. You know how like throwing coin into a river or into like a pond or a water fountain. So Kitty-Gorod, translates to Chinatown. Or Kitai, right? It's I call it Kitty. We have in Australia, for any Australians watching, Kitty. Is it Kitty Flanagan? There's an Australian stand-up comedian called Kitty Flanagan, and I always call it Kitty-Gorod, but it's Kitai. Kitai-Gorod. Sorry, Roman, for butchering it there. So I'm still asking, why are you living in Russia, being from Australia? So many opportunities there in Australia, I guess. So until, well, let's call it 8 or 9 months ago, My wife and I, Jen and I, were both living in Australia back in March 2020. I guess April 2020. All the cruise ships in the whole world stopped because of the COVID situation, and I got sent home. And then Jen came and joined me in Australia a month or two later. She had a lot of flight cancellations because that was when all the airports were closing. You know, nobody could fly anywhere. She could still enter Australia because she had Australian residency. So, and then 7, 8, 9 months ago here, my wife had some medical issues and she essentially wanted to come back to Russia to take care of that. Some dental work. She had a surgery. She's still on medication. She's still seeing a couple of different doctors. So I decided to follow her here. Basically, for the last 9 years, on and off, I've lived here anyway, on and off for 9 years since we very first met. We've been married. We got married here in Moscow 4 years ago. So yeah, I mean, I understand there's a lot of opportunities in Australia. I came home from cruise ships. I didn't have a clue what was going to go on. I didn't know how long the cruise ships were going to be out of service for. I mean, it was close to 2 years, pretty much before all the cruise ships have started to come back into full operation now. So it was a good time to get down to Australia and Jen and I to be there together. And it just didn't work out. So I got jobs, and I actually got to a point that I was comfortable with working, and I found jobs that I like doing that were retail related because I was working in retail. But I was doing merchandising and shop fitting. So I was fitting out new supermarkets and petrol stations and Dan Murphy's, the liquor stores in Australia. So so I'm here now. The visa for Russia is really mostly so that I can fly to and from work if I want to go back to the cruise ships. I am looking at seeing if I can maybe just go to the ships in Europe. There is a couple of ships being built at the moment, and I could go and do the merchandising for the shops in the shipyard. So either in Helsinki or in Turku in Finland. There's also in Italy as well a couple of shipyards. There's one in France as well. So there's a chance that I could do that. I just need to contact somebody particular about it who's in that part of the division of the company I work for. So David says that I guess 70%. As for me, I guess you're probably saving 30% and spending 70%. So that's kind of interesting. If anyone else wants to put that number there, I'll be honest and say for me it was 5 or 10%. I reckon maybe 5% I was able to save while Jen and I were living in Australia. We're not in any way frugal. We spend money as we earn it. We buy things what we want or need. I mean, we don't waste money, if that's kind of an expression, So, Real Moscow says, what education do you have and why and how you get your jobs on cruise ships? Now, this is kind of the $1 million question, I guess. I finished only 3 years of high school. So high school, after primary school, you go to high school, and it's years 8 through 12 is high school. Primary school is year 1 through 7. High school is 8, 9, or 10, which is the secondary certificate. That would be the earliest you can possibly leave high school. And then your year 11 and 12 is your entrance exam for university or college or whatever you're going to do after that. So I finished school essentially when I was 15. After the third year of high school, I got a job through work experience or job placement in high school. You get to do that in year 10 and maybe see what sort of things you like to do and where you want to work. And I got a job right away, straight from that. It was actually in a camera store, selling cameras, developing 1-hour photos. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. So yeah, I've got no essentially like a university degree or any kind of trainings, certificates, if you want to call it that. But I worked in duty-free on land in Australia. I worked at the airport in the duty-free shops. And then that was a natural progression to go work on the cruise ships in duty-free. So my absolute background is in retail. So anything retail related, anything that sort of involves shop fitting or merchandising or displaying. If you want, I can talk your ear off if you like. If you took me to a shop that's got problems, I can figure it out what we need to do or how to do it or what to do better. So, TTs is here. How's it going? Good to see you in the chat. Another regular of the channel, so thank you. Sure, I've missed you answering this before, but Australia is a huge country. Where in Australia you're from? I've been to Perth several times and I love it there. Yes, I am from Perth, and I'm wearing my West Coast Eagles. Oh, let me just take that off. I'm wearing my West Coast Eagles football club. Sorry, which finger is it? This one. Oh my god, that's weird when it's opposite fingers. And they got beaten by 100 points on Friday. So I'm still wearing it in earnest. Yeah, we live in Perth. We were living in Rockingham, which is one of the suburbs of Perth, about probably 45, 50 minutes from the city if you drove the car. We were living in Rockingham Beach, which was kind of a quiet suburban area, literally by the beach. Yeah, it was a great spot. And everybody will ask my wife, why do you want to leave Rockingham? So yeah, it is a huge country. I'll definitely agree with that. Kittygorod is not Chinatown. Oh, there you go. You guys are going to have to figure that out. If we've got a couple of Russians. Oh, Caroline Wilson, how's it going? Again, I can see pretty much people doing stuff in the chat. Armenian Day of the Word for you. Niraviasutian. Niviratias Usian. Oh, I've got no chance of getting that right. To be honest, this is what I'm here for. Oh, thank you, David. You're enjoying life as it should be. Thank you, Caroline. Yes. I'm making the best of a situation. I mean, we are here in a country that's obviously got some things going on right now. I'm not going to hide it from that. I mean, unfortunately, I met this couple today while I was at the shopping center, and they spoke perfect English. We had a very long conversation. She asked me why I was filming and everything like that, and it's just interesting when you talk to other Russians. I mean, we don't really talk about what's happening. I mean, I'm curious what people's view is on it, but that's pretty much it. We don't go on and on and on and on. We were talking, actually, this couple today, we were talking about retail and the shops, and I explained why I was curious, what I'm seeing at the shopping center and things like that. But, you know what I mean? They seem to be popular videos on the channel, so I'll keep filming that kind of thing. I know some people want me to do other traveling videos or some other kind of niche that's on the channel, but yeah, actually, if anyone has or hasn't noticed, one of the videos passed 100,000 views today. I put it on the community tab a few days ago that it was at 75,000, and I think we're about 107,000 views now on one of the videos, which for a channel with 2,000 subscribers, and you guys, hopefully you're subscribed. Thank you. It's just, I was showing my wife when I got home today, because that 100,000, while I was on the bus going to the shopping mall, it ticked over from 99.9 to 100,000. And it blows you away. You see people's channels with millions of views and you're like, is it possible? Are you doing something that can get it there? So where's the 100K stream views, Russ? Oh, that should be Dimmer, sorry, I didn't see the next comment right below Caroline's there. So hi Dimmer, how's it going? Yeah, I guess it's not 100,000 subscribers, it's 100,000 views on a video stream. So so yeah. Nia is here. Neoa? Jason Noah? I guess maybe you're the other way around. Oh, Faith is here as well. How's it going? You have a shark in your little logo right there. I wonder if that's a team. It's a little bit hard to read the rest of that. So Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm a sand groper. Yes, WA. Well, residents or people from Western Australia are considered sand gropers. Yeah, Frio had another win. TTs. Yes, I didn't watch the game because it was on at 6 o'clock in the morning here. 6:45 a.m. was the start of the match. So I watched the Melbourne. Who was playing Melbourne? Oh my god, the Melbourne match. I watched about 2 or 3 quarters of that. No, until the third quarter, and then that's when I went out today because that was on, I guess 9-10 a.m. this morning with the time difference. So I can watch any Australian TV, well, not TV channels, but sport events live streaming here. So and then I just flipped it over and watched a little bit of the car racing. There's some car racing going on in Perth today as well. So I watched a little bit of that. Lisa says Rockingham Beach is gorgeous. Yes, we were literally 2 streets from Rockingham Beach where we lived on Emma Street, across from the Anzac Memorial Park. We lived in an apartment right across the street from there, and we were literally 800 meters physically from the beach, from the water. And I loved it there. I mean, I'm not. Some people don't like Rockingham; it gets a bad name. It's this and that, but it's a beautiful place to live. And we weren't far from the shopping centre. We actually lived literally around the corner from Mark McGowan, the Premier of Western Australia. He lives on Rockingham Beach, literally. I knew which house he lived in. A lot of people didn't know, but I did. So. Kinkokun. I was going to say Kinkoman. You should change it to Kinkoman, like as in the soy sauce. There are only 2 Russian YouTubers that I like, and you are one of them. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Ace Ramon. I wonder who your other favorite Russian YouTuber is. I wonder if they do it in English as well. That would be interesting if it's somebody that I've watched before, just to compare myself. Thank you, Ace. That's very nice of you to say that. What is the name of the video? I guess you mean the video that's got 100,000 views, Ironwood? I'm going to pull it up right here. Let's do the screen sharing again. Share screen. This one right here. It's, if you guys can see that, depending on your screen, if we go down here to Russian shopping mall 8 weeks into sanctions video. It was published on the 19th of April, and it's sitting on 105,000 views at the moment. If anyone wants, I can put the link in the description, but I guess the thing with that is you're probably going to click away to watch it. So it's okay. That's the link to the video. I'm sure most people have probably watched it already. But I'm going to put out another one. I filmed the video today. So I've got another video, very well, similar, but not the same, if that makes sense. Actually, I went yesterday on a river cruise, and it cost $1. So I wonder if you want to see that video instead. I don't think it's going to edit very well because I did too much looking out the side of the boat rather than filming. So I wonder if you guys want to watch. Oops. Let's just get that off. Sorry. Oops. Sorry. Double oops. Yeah, so that's the link there to the video if you want to watch that. I guess if you kind of go through the playlist of the videos in the channel, it'll come up. You'll be able to see the kind of how many views each one's had. But to get 100,000 views, that's just mind-blowing. You should make a stream inside closed shops to get 100,000 viewers. What, lock myself in the shopping center, maybe? I don't know. I wasn't sure if it's been asked already. What were you doing on cruise ships? Yeah, TTs, I was working in the onboard duty-free shops. So if you've never been on a cruise before, so the ships, okay, the Carnival Horizon, I've made a lot of videos on that ship, had 4,500 passengers on board. There was 1,450 crew on the ship, working on the ship itself. And then there was 22 21 of us in the shops. We were in 6 shops technically, but 2 of them were huge shops. But I was doing the liquor and tobacco, chocolates and sundries shop. Just to compare it, if you went through an international airport and walked in the liquor section of the airport shops, where they've got the alcohol and the tobacco for sale, I was the liquor specialist selling the alcohol and the booze. So anything that's sort of basically whiskey, vodka, rum, gin, things like that. So, Inside Russia is the other one. Yes, Ace, I know Konstantin well. He and I have met a few times. Actually, he lives up the road from me. Sorry for my hand a lot, but we live 15 minutes apart. So I'm pretty sure he might have mentioned in videos about me, I guess. I know he did at one point. And that's how we kind of gained a few subscribers on the channel. So thank you for coming over if you came from his channel. We've met a couple of times. Actually, I sent him a message this morning. I haven't got a reply back from him. I know he gets a million views, millions of messages. So I know we are going to catch up somehow, somewhere. I'm kind of happy if I just meet him somewhere that he's doing something else. So if he goes out for a meal or lunch or dinner or something, I can meet him there. I know he's kind of very got to work as well, right? He works a day job also. He doesn't just do YouTube. So that's why I always sort of see that he looks a little bit tired in the videos, because I'm pretty sure he's just never stops, literally. And he's streaming on his outside of his work hours. I know he does work from home and works at an office as well. So, he's a super nice guy. I could sit and chat to him. Actually, it's kind of interesting when we sat and chat for the few times that I've met him. We didn't really talk about anything that was going on, like literally everything that's going on here. I talked mostly about life in Russia, like living here, and just things that I couldn't really ask my wife about, like just simple like day-to-day living things and questions that I was curious about, like even like how do the bus drivers get paid, like the bus drivers that run the buses here, because there's a lot of different companies that operate bus companies here, and they've got different ways that they get paid, and just he can answer simple things like that. So Ironwood. So that's the link there in the description, but maybe if you just go through the playlist of the channel, you'd be able to pull it up. Inside Russia is on the limit of his topics. Yeah, he does. Yeah, you see, I don't really do that, and I know he'd mentioned it to me, and actually someone else has also mentioned it, that for each live stream I do, I should have a kind of topic of discussion. And I don't really have one. I've kind of put always something in the title, but it never really pans out that I talk about that. I'm more than happy to answer questions from live stream and what people are asking here, because that's enough conversation for me. So I will watch this video later. It is springtime. It's springtime. I have been very busy working between MT and West Virginia and working from home. No, or West Virginia. Oh, okay. Is that right? Between MT and WV. Is that West Virginia? I'm not sure MT is, but this is springtime, right? So actually in you guys that are Russian in the channel probably know this. There's a certain word that they use that basically was about a week or two back. I think I mentioned this with Real Moscow projects, where everybody in the local town where you live, or in your complex or apartment complex, goes down and helps sort of tidy up and clean up, and maybe cleans the playground equipment or repaint something, or helps clean up the leaves and things like that, or whatever, tree branches, and after winter time. And there's basically like an expression that they use, and all of the districts around Moscow have a bit of a thing where they go and do a spring cleaning. And I think just every Russian lady likes to do it as well in their apartment. My wife's forever wanting to do spring cleaning about every 2 weeks, I think. So, Montana. Oh, Montana and West Virginia. Oh, beautiful places. I haven't been to either of them, but I know it's beautiful part of the world, part of America especially. So, yeah, I really like America. I mean, like America. As a country and the places that I visited on the cruise ships. It's. I've mostly seen only coastal places, but I could very easily live in Florida. I know it's just saying that sort of thing, but I could. The company I work for is based in Miami or in Doral, which is a suburb near the airport in Miami, Florida. And I think I could very easily work there and live there. I think Florida would have a lot of comparisons to Australia with the weather and that kind of outdoors lifestyle that you have there. So. Maybe what I think about is how can you grow a nation like this? A nation which with limits does not sound powerful to me. I'm not sure about that. I am Wood, but I'm not sure what the reference is. Sorry, guys, if you're chatting to each other. Another good Russian vlogger is Nick Proshin. Yes, I've watched a couple of his videos. Yeah, I guess he's maybe like a university student. I'm not sure if he's maybe mentioned it in any of his videos. I've not watched every video and followed him along, but he seems also very positive and very happy in his videos. Where he did a few of the kind of tours of the shops and things like that. He seems always very positive in his videos that he makes. Yeah, I didn't know him at all before. I'm going to say the last few months. I think just the fact that I've watched similar videos to what I make. YouTube's very smart at recommending videos, right? The algorithm of YouTube kind of knows based on what you've watched to show you similar videos that are maybe in your thoughts to watch, right? So doing videos on current situation will get you more views. That's what the West wants to see. Yeah, I mean, what's called trending topics. I think, it's very interesting though that particular video, let's say, went to 100,000 views versus other videos that are maybe 5 or 10,000. I mean, ideally, when you're starting off a new channel or a small channel, if you can get any amount of views equal to your subscriber count, then you're doing very well, because maybe naturally half of your subscribers, or you guys watching, of course, but may not watch a video at all. Maybe it's just someone passing, like today in the car on the way to the shops. The guy sitting next to me subscribed to my channel because he was curious, Australian living in Moscow, what are you doing? And I always end up talking about the fact that I make YouTube videos. He's a subscriber. I mean, will he watch some videos? I hope so. I explained to him how to watch them with Russian translation on. I remember with Real Moscow, when we were out in Moscow, I was showing you on Yandex browser, you can basically press translate, and then it'll actually run my videos with an AI voice in the language that you want. So you can watch it with a Russian language rather than reading subtitles. So I'm curious if they watch videos or not. They did seem very interested in it. So, one was a photographer. He was going to the shopping center to photograph products in the stores. And what was the other guy doing? The two guys sitting in the back. Oh, he was a doctor at a clinic here in Aprelivka. Aprelivka is the town where I live, and he was a pediatric doctor. And he looked very young. He's like, no, I've been doing it for 10 or something years, but he looked super young for a doctor. And I told him he needs to come to Australia and be a doctor. So Gary's here. Oh, hi, Gary, Dr. Gary. I do wish you would say ahead that you're giving live. Anyway, I'm here. Sorry, Gary. Yeah, I kind of put it in the community tab earlier today. And pretty much it was 3 yeses and a maybe in terms of the poll answers. So I think pretty much everybody was sort of saying yes to doing it. And I probably should have done the notification a little bit earlier before I left to go out today. So, Scan family, hello everybody. Good to see you. Listening while preparing for next round of bad storms that's supposed to come through. Oh, bad storms. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for kind of one of those rainy days here. It's been kind of dry this pretty much the whole week. It maybe like rained for like 30 minutes in the last week. So after all the snow's gone away now. I always remember when I was in Australia, I was on the cruise ships and I was chatting to Jen or doing video with her, and she showed me like pouring down with rain outside. And I've never really had any rainy days here. Yeah, storms aren't a good thing. I guess that's the perk to living in an apartment. You don't have any worries about your garden or tying anything down or securing anything. So I guess that's a small perk of living in an apartment. We've got nice big windows right here. You can just see behind. So you get a nice view of the whole town from where I live. And we can just sit. I can sit and stare out the window all day if I really didn't have things to do. So, yeah, P says there. That's very true, Russell. YouTube has a good algorithm. I think I found you through Nick's channel. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I probably got recommended his videos from watching other videos as well. So, yeah, I guess we have got kind of similar kind of vibe, good positive vibes, if that is that the right word to use? So, by the way, thanks everybody for 32 likes or thumbs ups. It's always good when there's more likes than there is viewers. So that's always, thank you very much. If you haven't put a thumbs up or a like, now there's 33. Yes, last time, remember, we were like, I think we got past 50 likes. And it was like every time I was going to leave, there was like another like on the channel. So I'm cooking as I watch. Oh, yeah, we've had dinner already. My wife made chicken noodle stir fry with carrots. What else? I don't know what else. But it was chicken stir fry. It was very nice with the soya sauce and satay. Soya sauce and like satay sauce or something or other. But it's very nice, like Chinese noodles. It was very, very nice, actually. Sometimes we do that with beef or chicken. So had that. And then she also bought me cheesecake from the local cafe up the road. So we had a piece of cheesecake each for dessert, which was super nice. So I'm completely full for today now. No more. And we had some chopped tomato and chopped cucumber. Pretty much normal here. Whenever we have a meal, we've also got some fresh veggies that we get from the train station veggie family. We have the same kind of little shop that we go to get fruit and veg at the train station here. So it's much nicer than getting from the supermarket. You can tell the difference when you get it from a local like market than you can from the supermarket. So we had a tornado touchdown. What? A mile from our house yesterday had massive amounts of hail and wow. Okay, so that's crazy. Yeah, that's one thing. When I was working on the cruise ships, we had CNN and ABC News and NBC News, and especially CNN, we had a lot. And I guess I could say this. It's one thing that I miss was watching the American news every day. I watch very, very little news here. Even the Australian news, there's a live streaming news channel on YouTube. And even that I don't watch very much anymore because I always miss the time of the, like the nightly news, like the 6 or 8 or 9 o'clock news. Every time I put it on, it's always on some documentary. It's because it's a 24-hour channel. But yeah, I miss watching like CNN news and ESPN, where you just had that continuous. You can just flick it on any time and catch up on whatever news is happening. I mean, not everybody likes CNN or they like Fox better. They like NBC better, but Gary said the last like was him. Oh, but now we're at 37, Gary. So I think you were like the 32, 33 like. So thank you, Gary. Yes. There you go. Real Moscow saw it on the internet. They looked awful. Be careful. Yeah, that's tornadoes like this. That's probably one thing I probably couldn't do is live in that region. I guess they call it Tornado Alley or that Midwest area where there's always that possibility, right? I mean, okay, I know in Florida you've got hurricanes, as well. And in Australia, we've got cyclones. And then actually in Russia, they always mention that in the weather here, like this anti-cyclones, even though it's just bad weather, but they call them cyclones a lot here. Whereas in Australia, we don't say cyclone unless it really is like that serious tornado style weather, you know. So it was pretty harsh for a bit. There we go. But I'm used to the bad weather. Grew up here. It's normal. So yeah, I guess kind of like a lot of Floridians who have hurricanes, there's only a certain you know craziness, is that the word, where they basically brush it off to a certain point, so I always had this funny thing about that when watching CNN. So it's very bad weather, or it's going to be dangerous weather, or hurricanes are coming when the CNN crew do the live feed from like New Orleans or Florida or Alabama somewhere. So once they turn up, it's kind of going to be seriously bad weather at some point. So it's all fake news now. I'm not sure which news it is. Was I in Perth when we had the hailstorms in 2010? I probably wasn't, and I don't remember really. Pretty much I'm going to say 10 or 15 or even 20 years. I was only at home for about a month or so every year, maybe 5, 6 weeks. And then pretty much as soon as I'd fly home, I'd fly straight to Bali and go on holiday between the contracts. This is before I met Jen. If I go back to the 10 years before that. So I was very rarely in Australia for longer than a few weeks at a time. So I wasn't there for that, unfortunately. But it sounds crazy. Never saw a tornado in my life. Yeah, me either. There's no tornadoes in Moscow. Well, there was once a tornado a long time ago. But sometimes, yeah, I know when I translate on Yandex News here, and they've also got like weather reports that they put out, and they talk about anticyclones. I think that maybe it's spinning the other way, I guess. I don't know how they, like, where the weather patterns cross Europe and come from the western part of Russia to the east. I saw it in Germany as well. Used to live in Kansas summers, my brother-in-law's ranch. So there you go. Most people here stand outside and watch the storms until the rain comes in, and then they go inside. The town's about 5 miles from here. We totally wiped out. I'm going to have to look afterwards and see some news about this, because that's just crazy. Kansas, there you go. Have you decided where you're spending May holidays? Roman, my wife's pretty much decided about 7 times, and she's changed her mind 8 times. So we now are at a stalemate, because we now still haven't decided what we're going to do. We did have some friends offer to go on a road trip with them it was about 8 or 9 days. And I think my wife just maybe doesn't want to do a road trip for that long. I mean, we know the couple, they're very nice. We'd get along amazingly well together. Me speaking English, my wife speaking Russian, of course. Then we had this idea of going, so that's now off the cards, I think. I don't know yet. Maybe still on. We were then looking at going to St. Petersburg, maybe by train for 2 or 3 or 4 days. I don't know. And then now she's mentioned about going to, I forgot where she said, somewhere by car, like renting a car and going for 2 or 3 days somewhere, like in Moscow region, I guess outside of Moscow region. So we did look at going to Ufa, which is where her family's all from. And we'd really just have to work out the dates to go there if we were to go to Ufa. Because that's fairly easy. Well, we live quite close to Vnukovo Airport here. So if we can get kind of the cheap flights, as we call them, the cheap flights, we can easily just fly from there somewhere. I'd like to go on a train trip, but Jen's not into trains that are, more than like the high-speed train to St. Petersburg and back would be about her limit, I think. So yeah, so far, Roman, it's still We still haven't decided. So I know for sure she has definitely time off, and the salon where she runs, it's kind of a nail salon inside a hairdressing salon with a kind of a beauty room as well. Kind of, it's like a combined kind of place where they all work there in their own little businesses together. So I don't know what this last place was she talked about. It's somewhere like Moscow region, which I'm kind of totally up for. If we could find somewhere quiet, somewhere nice, and small town somewhere, and chill out. I don't really need to go to somewhere like big city if we don't need to, if that's okay. So, yeah, I saw a bunch of overturned trucks, and wow. I also have to drive through blizzards. First one in Montana, the second in Wyoming. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Very crazy. Yeah, it's known as Tornado Alley, right? Yeah, 7 or 8 changes of the mind. Yeah, this is my wife. It mostly comes about when she's chatting to her good friend Olya, who she used to work with at Sandoni. Jen worked at Sandoni for quite a lot of years. And the minute her and her best friend start chatting, like on the phone or on Messenger, they just like start ticking over these ideas. Oh, we could do this. We could go here. We could do that. And I'm like, just one place at a time. Let's think about, if you're going to St. Petersburg, you'd visit Viborg. Yes, that's Finland, right? Yeah, I want to just go to St. Petersburg and go see the city area and see the Hermitage and these sort of places. I know it's the tourist places, but it's somewhere where I'd like to just sort of see, because I've not really fully seen it. I was there on a cruise ship for 2 days quite a lot of years ago, but I think I'd appreciate it more now because, just to compare it with Moscow and the differences, so you could also visit Volgograd and Magnigorok. Oh, I don't know that name. Volgograd I've heard of, though. I'd have to look up the other place. Yeah, the Trans-Siberian is the Trans-Siberian. It's not really express. The Trans-Siberian is basically the suburban train, or the slow train, if you want to call it that. You can do that also going to Moscow, to St. Petersburg. You can take the kind of normal slow train if you like, or they've got the it's called Sapsan, is the express train. Gary said he's going. I think he might be going to Rostov. I think Rostov on Don, unless he's going somewhere different. I've not got a message back from him. So normally he visits family in Rostov, which is kind of in the south of Russia. Unless he's going to St. Petersburg, maybe he has family there. If you're going to St. Petersburg, you could visit him. He's moving there today. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm one video behind what he's doing. So, I feel like I'm sitting so close when I do this. Sorry. I should sit back in my chair and be a bit comfier. There we go. How's that? I think that's better. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, when he's got like the longer live streams, I kind of maybe watch like 5 or 10 minutes or so here and there, and I don't sort of sit through the entire videos. Finland is Viborg, right? Viborg. Thank you. Thanks, Roman. You guys, it's good to have like the backup for all the things that I can't remember or don't know. So, and also Blagovech. So Blagovech is on the east of Russia, right? Isn't that over the far east of Russia? Because we've got a very good friend who went to do some work over there, doing some like landscaping and gardening. And she was going to go through with a contract over there to do work for the city council in Blagovech. I'm pretty sure that's the same place. Vesnik. Maybe that's not the same place, but it sounds like. I keep remember saying Blagovech. It's like 7 or 8 hours east of Russia, or east of Moscow anyway. like crazy kind of distances away from where we are here. I think taking your time as you are visiting or on vacation is more fun. I feel no need to see everything, but I'm with someone that wants to see it all. I do my best to help them. Yeah, I am. What it's kind of like, like when you live here, like especially like with me in Moscow, for instance, right? Like, pretty much. Well, the last 3 days in a row, I've gone out and done things, but I can go to a different part of Moscow each time I would go to the Moscow center or Moscow region and see something different, whereas if you were here on a 2 or 3 or 4 day, well, hopefully you wouldn't come for 3 or 4 days holiday here, but you'd really kind of have to hustle around to do things, like when I went on the boat cruise yesterday it was, you know what I mean? Like I went a little bit earlier. It was in Moscow City where all the big skyscrapers are, so I kind of went down to where the boat left from. We went up the river for an hour and a half, and then actually we got off the boat at a different stop very close to Red Square. But if you're on a bit of a time limit and that's your half day tour, then you go to the next place, like you just exhaust yourself. Yeah, you've traveled millions of miles overland. Wow. Yeah, I really do want to do the this Trans-Siberian Railway. TT's said Siberian Express, but it's still realistically, it's if you basically just did it sitting on the train without getting off, it's 7, 8, or 9 days, depending on the connection of the trains that you take. So I'd kind of want to do it into segments. So maybe a day or two of traveling, get off the train, go to whatever that town is, and then, rest up for a day, then get on the next segment of it and keep going. So it would be, that's what I really want to do. But Jen 100% doesn't want to do the Trans-Siberian Railway with me. So I need to convince somebody else. So Real Moscow, if you want to come, if Dimmer's watching, Dimmer's in St. Petersburg, so I can certainly meet him there and we can do it together. How about a super chat fund for vacation to Tahiti or Bora Bora? Gary, now funny you mentioned this because while we were having dinner today, one of my things with this travel channel was I wanted to film hotel reviews. So stay at a hotel and film my kind of walk around of it, what I think of the place, what I think of the room and maybe the pool if I had one. And that was my idea. And then those videos have become kind of, historical videos on the channel that have become searchable so that they'd always ever get views, whereas if you do kind of just with vlogs, the titles won't become searchable really. So people, people wouldn't watch them later, whereas if you look at my cruise channel, videos are getting views 3 or 4 years later because it's on a certain keyword that people are typing in and my video comes up. So my whole idea was this travel channel was to go to Bali on holiday and film hotel reviews in Bali, go there on holiday. And I mean, I wouldn't expect hotel rooms for free or stays for free. Maybe that would come about from it, but I just had to do, a day's stay at a place, film what I think, go to another place for a day and do what I think. And that was the plan. And then Jen's like today, she's like, oh, we could go to Bali now. You've got your visa. Now I've got my visa, right? It's like opened up the whole world to travel. And she's like, oh, we can fly to Bali for a holiday. Oh, we can fly to Thailand. I'm like, if we go to Bali, we're 3 hours from Australia. We can't fly there and then not go to Australia, and come home back to Russia. So the cheaper logical holiday from us here is to go to Turkey or to Egypt. So a lot of you can get like package holidays to Turkey or Egypt. Egypt particularly, there's a lot of like all-inclusive resorts that you can go to. So that we literally an hour before I went on live, Jen and I were talking about this. And then Jen sort of said, oh, if we go to Bali, I'll be in every video that you film. I want to go on every video now. Whereas when we were in Bali on holiday, now it would be 3 years ago now, I think more than that. She didn't want to be in any video that I filmed, and now she's like, "Oh, I'll be in all the videos if you take me to Bali." So Tahiti and Bora Bora, I mean, that'd be definitely bucket list kind of places. I'd like to go to Mauritius. That would be somewhere I'd like to go to as well. Yeah, I don't know about Super Chat Fund, but Super Chats. I don't know if anyone's noticed, as of, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, when you watch a video on the channel now, where the like button is and things like that, there is one of them that says super thanks. So there's a super thanks option now that it was never on there until 3 or 4 days ago. So now you can do super thanks. I don't know if that's different. That's basically like a super chat, but on not a live video, if that makes sense. So I've not had any super thanks yet, so I don't know how people do that. So I guess people can do that, but I've not had one. Do you know if your videos are monetized? So TTs, they are. The one thing that's important with all of this YouTube thing and what's going with Russia and everything. So my channel is essentially an Australian channel, and it's linked to my Australian Google account, I guess you could say. So what isn't monetized is if you have Russian views on your channel. So, for instance, if Real Moscow Projects was the only person watching every one of my videos, I wouldn't get ad revenue from Russian views. So the best opposite thing to that is, while I'm watching YouTube now, that I'm watching it in Russia, the YouTube is not monetizing any adverts on any video that I watch. So essentially I'm getting like YouTube Premium for free. So there is a positive to that, if that makes sense. So yeah, the videos are monetized, mean they don't earn lots of money. I kind of talked about it in the last live stream a little bit. They have the way they factor in how the video gets monetized. It's how much money you get per 1,000 views. It's called RPM, revenue per mil. So revenue per 1,000 views. And probably the topics or the videos that I've made aren't as advertisable as, like with the cruise channel videos, like the ones I made about how to get to the beach resorts, how to get to the beach in Aruba, how to get to the beach in Curacao, hotels. I did hotel reviews in Mexico, in Cozumel, while the cruise ships were in port. And those videos earn more money because, advertisers and brands want to advertise on, holiday and travel related channels, where it's hotels and resorts and cruise ships and things like that. Whereas, supermarket sanction videos aren't going to get the same revenue. And I would imagine too, maybe the ad companies don't want to be on videos that are about certain countries because of what's going on. I think so, because it's definitely a difference if you compare the two channels like side by side. It's dramatically different. So yeah, so there is ads on the videos, but whether or not they get played or people watch them, that's another story altogether. So and if you want to spend a good day out in Moscow, go to Sergei Posad and visit Trios Sergvaya Lava, a good saint place. Oh, I've heard of Sergei Posad. One Australian friend that was on holiday here over Christmas, he went there for the day and talked about it and had some really nice photos about Sergei Posad as well. So I might have to look up somewhere a bit further than around Moscow to go. I was watching, there was an American guy making videos. I don't think he's posted anything for months. He might have gone home, I would imagine. But he used to go to the pubs and do a pub review. And he'd go to just any bar that he could find and talk about the bar and what beers they were selling and how was the lunch. And that was his videos, sort of whether or not they got view. They didn't get very many views, and he would go to different areas in Moscow region, just on mostly on Saturdays and Sundays. He'd do, 2 or 3 different bars in a day sometimes. TTs, yes. So let's talk about that for a minute. Yeah, can you fly from Russia internationally? Yes. Well, you can. There isn't there isn't nearly as many airlines as there was 9 weeks ago. So in terms of Europe, you could fly Turkish Airlines from Moscow to Istanbul. I'm not sure of any other airlines without looking up flight details or going to the airport and looking at the board. I know 100% Turkish Airlines. Turkish Airlines, sorry if I shook the microphone. It flies right overhead here and lands in Vnukovo Airport, which is the nearby airport, literally up the road here. So I could connect through Istanbul to a flight in Europe or wherever from there. And then the other way, Qatar Airways, and I know Emirates is definitely flying in and out of Russia as well. So technically I could fly, or Jen and I could fly somewhere. We both got passports and visas and everything. So that's possible now. It's now that my visa is 100% perfectly fine. Before 3 days ago, I didn't have a visa in my passport that was valid for a return trip to Russia. So I could have left the country, but I couldn't go back because I didn't have a visa valid. I'd have to just reapply for a tourist visa, for instance, if I went back to Australia to re-enter Russia. But now with my EVP or residency visa, I can now fly in and out, no question. They wouldn't have anything to ask me at the airport. TT's asked if the videos are watched by certain people. I don't know. I guess maybe somebody watches. I don't know. Do you think they've got bots? They talk about bots a lot, like Russian bots. If they're watching videos and if they're scanning for information, or am I saying certain things? I mean, I don't mention really anything like that in the videos. Even like with that chat I had today with the couple in the shopping center. I mean, I didn't really know them, literally from a bar of soap, but I wouldn't ask them, do they want to be on a video? We mostly talked about like the retail situation in Russia when we were chatting, because we were in the shopping center, right? And they were shopping and I was walking around. And we didn't really mention anything outside of that, the wife, I guess they were husband and wife. She was curious, like what I'm doing every day in Moscow. Everybody's always curious about that. It's like I could set up a desk somewhere in town and people could come up and ask me questions. So yeah, I don't know if people watch. I mean, I guess 100,000 people somehow watched that one video. So yeah, I wonder if you can let me know in the chat. Do you think I should do the river cruise video first? I guess everyone's going to vote for that, aren't they? Or should I do the shopping mall revisit video instead? So maybe you can mention. I think everyone's going to ask for the river cruise. I'm going to title the river cruise. I went on a $1 cruise as my title of the video, because it was literally 99 rubles, which is about $1.20 really with the exchange rate. That was all it costs for a 1.5 hour. It's like 1 hour, 40-minute river cruise, 99 rubles. It's insane. If you booked it at the pier, I don't know if I didn't even look like there's anybody there to do the bookings. It was meant to be 500 rubles. So Turkey closed its airspace yesterday for the two countries. Okay, right. Well, I didn't know. I didn't really read the news at all today. So I normally read like Yandex News, which is the local browser here. And I kind of just get whatever news is from that. So, and I'm pretty sure that would come up as a news story maybe today or so, if it takes a little time to trickle through. So I'm an official and I'm officially representing myself. Thanks, Roman. Very nice. Yeah, 39 likes, by the way. I just thought I'd share that. 39 likes, and that's way more people than are here. And also, thanks for the super chats from earlier as well. So, if anybody does do a super chat, it's funny. Now, I won't really mention more analytics about the YouTube channel, but it's going to be, well, views. It's going to be a crazy record for April. Today's obviously the last calendar day of the month. That's why I kind of want to do this live stream today, to catch the last amount of people watching the channel in the calendar month, because I don't think we'll get this many viewers ever again in a calendar month. But if I combine the views with this and the cruise channel, I've not posted a video for the entire month, literally. So it'll kind of be records. The way it shows the statistics, there's a live count of views, and then there's a 2-day delayed view. So yeah. Oh, so we've got a vote for each. One vote for the shopping mall and one vote for the river cruise. So, but I'm calling it the $1 cruise. So I guess it's kind of like 50-50. So I think I've kind of started editing down the river cruise one. I hope it comes across okay. I probably should have filmed more, but I got a bit carried away looking at things instead of filming. I don't know how vloggers really do it, because there's a point where you're kind of just busy looking through your camera, or I use my phone, right, on a stick. And there's a point where you're kind of just not looking at things anymore because you're too busy looking through the camera and getting the right angle and the right shot. And it's sometimes too difficult. Oh, hello, Mr. Russell's. Seen your channel at 3 a.m. I had to subscribe. Oh, thank you, Karen. I'm not sure where you are in the world, but thanks for watching. Karen Payne sounds Australian, maybe British, American, Canadian. Oh, and also is it super chat? Super sticker. $5. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very appreciated. Gary did say that we're doing a Bora Bora fund, but it won't be Bora Bora. It'll be a train to somewhere fund. We are still working on the microwave, by the way. I just need to get Jen with a day off for us to go to, well, I guess the shopping center to go look at microwaves and decide on one. That's the previous super chat fund. So I don't want it to go to like waste. That's not the right term. I don't want it to go to, not meaningful things, if that makes sense. So yeah, thank you for the $5. It's appreciated. Oh, you're from the US. Nice. Whereabouts? I wonder, Karen. I worked on cruise ships for the last 20 years, so I know a lot of the US ports. My last cruise ship was out of Galveston, Texas, by the way. I flew home from Houston. Actually, that was in April 2020 when the absolute COVID kick was completely, going for it right then. And I remember I should have filmed. I did film it going home from the cruise ship. Oh my gosh, that's a video we have to put up for people to look for. Let me find that. And I'm going to put a link to that video so you can watch that if you want to. My going home. Is it on here? Australia. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there it is. Carnival Dream to Australia, the journey home. Traveling to Australia during the travel downturn. Yeah, at the time of everything happening on the cruise ships, we couldn't use certain words. Like now, right? We had to call it a pause in operations when the cruise ships stopped sailing. So this is a link on my other cruise channel of the trip home from the cruise ship to Australia. So if you're interested in watching that video, I'll just make sure that it's set up a little bit. I'm pretty sure everything is good on there to watch. I think this might be of interest to some of you guys who know me from the channel here. I think. So, oh, it's 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. She's in Perth. Oh, okay. Maybe we're confused where everyone is. I'm from the US, and TT's is. I think TT's you're in Australia, right? So, yeah, that's interesting video to watch. That's a video that probably would never get searched to watch twice. It's not got probably too many views, that video. So, Russell, don't sell yourself short. I can see you growing. I think you'll have better months than this one, my friend. Remember, people are busy because of spring. Yes, it's spring here in Russia as well. Actually, walking around the shopping center today, the couple that I met mentioned that, because I said to them, I said, look, I really did come here on a Saturday because I wanted to see more people in the video and see more people walking around, because I'd been to that shopping center when it's very busy and it didn't have to be Christmas or whatever reason. The couple said to me there, oh, look, it's springtime now. People are preparing because this 10-day kind of holiday in May starting essentially tomorrow or whatever, 3rd or 4th of May. There seems to be a bit of conflict when this non-working days are, and people kind of combine 2 different holidays together. So yeah, that's probably why there wasn't people at the shopping center. There's always a reason, right? People weren't there because of the holiday. People weren't there because of the traffic. Most people don't like this shopping center I went to Mega, because of the parking, because they're building, well, it looks like they're building like a 3-level multi-level parking garage in the parking lot, if that makes sense. And it's sort of chopped up about half of the normal parking there. And it's right off a major highway. So it's already kind of a challenge to get in there. And then now the way they've kind of blocked up all this big construction, it's still going on, even though everything's kind of, shops are closed down there, right? And IKEA's not open, but they're still building this parking garage still. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, I guess, with more subscribers, it's going to be more views. So it is going to grow, but this is records. I mean, I've never had even on my cruise page, 40,000 is the most views on a video. So to break 50,000 now, 100,000, that's just insane. It's really like, you kind of see people with million view videos and you think, will I ever get a million view video? I mean, that's really the true viral video, but where they've got millions of subscribers, it kind of goes hand in hand. But to have 2,000 subscribers and then have 100,000 view video, then something's right, something's right. Karen's in Brooklyn, New York. Nice. If Blogging Trucker is in here, he's also in New York as well. So love to come back to New York. If you want to invite me, Karen, I'll come any day to your house or to wherever hotel or whatever I'm going to stay. I love Manhattan. I mean, working on the cruise ship sailing from New York, it was amazing. I mean, the amount of little trips I did around Manhattan where the ships were docked in West Side Highway and 50th Street, where the finger piers are there, and the Intrepid Museum. And the amount of things I saw in Lower Manhattan and Midtown and things like that was crazy. And other crew members were jealous because I'd just get off, go and do things. I'd know where to go. I'd have a bit of a plan every time. And B&H Photo is my favorite camera store to go to. I can go to that every day of the week as well. Agreed with you, Ironwood. Thanks, Peace. Thank you, everybody, for good vibes. Yes. Sorry, I've got the other one open. Yeah. So, you can't support Russell with super chats in Russia, but I can support him with a beer or some time in a bar. Roman, absolutely. Just let me know where and when, and I'll be there. I think how you think, Roman. Oh, you think how you think, Roman. Yes. Yeah, right. I guess, yeah, that's true. You can't support country in country, right? Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, if you're somewhere in Moscow or Moscow region, Roman, I'd love to meet up. It doesn't even have to be over a beer. If you don't want to have beer, we can have a beer though. We can just go to Krasny Bilo and have a beer outside. It would be very nice. That would be very, very cool if you're there. Do a beer from the bar. Do a beer from the bar together. Do a video from the bar together. Peace. That would be cool. Yes. Actually, when I met up with Moscow Projects, she filmed the video, but I didn't. So I'm not even like when I'm with my wife. Like I don't like filming, even though I want her to be in the videos. I don't want to film things like to bother people when I'm with somebody else at the same time. But if we were sitting in a bar somewhere, it'd be pretty easy to kind of, just chat about things or just ask each other questions, I guess, back and forward. Oh, Karen, I used to be a cop at the Flatbush police station. Wow. Gary, you've done everything, by the way. You had a very storied career. Storied, that's the right word. Very storied career. Man, my cheeks are hurting from being so smiley now. It's really like kind of interesting when you do the live streams because you're kind of mostly staring at the chat down here. That's what I'm staring at all the time and not looking up at the camera right there. It's very almost a little bit distracting. I'm sorry that I'm not looking directly at you guys when you're watching back. So yeah, Roman, yeah, if you look me up on Telegram, if you guys, anyone wants to look me up on Telegram, I'm gonna I don't even know what my Telegram is. That's bad of me, isn't it? Yeah, it's at Russell Otway. That's my photo from me in Italy. If you look up at Russell Otway on Telegram, you can find me right on there. That's my phone number as well, if that really matters. But that's my friend's photo of me when we were in Italy. That's when I got this phone, by the way. I bought it in a Vodafone shop in Rome, not in Rome, somewhere, one of the Italian ports. And I really only have Telegram for a few people, so it's easy to use if someone chats to me on there. So yeah, I might just go over to the comments here of the channel because I did mention that I'd talk about some. I'm just going to go back one click here. Sorry. And they're more than likely that probably the comments. Yeah, a lot of the videos. A lot of the videos have got very repeated comments on the videos, and I've actually deleted a ton of comments, by the way. So I've already got it set up that it basically holds for review comments with certain words in it, particularly bad words, of course. But then I've noticed now people have got a little bit smart with the spelling of words, or they're putting a space in between the lettering of the words. I think some people have wised up to the fact that a lot of things get deleted. So it's just interesting, where people talking about that I'm not going to shop at all the stores that are open in Moscow that are Western brands. I'm never going to shop like this one. Never going to shop at Lacoste, Yves Rocher, Sony. I'm never going to stop at Uniqlo ever again. There's a lot of. I mean, I can understand people want to be negative and not positive and things like that. I mean, everyone's got a view, right? Everybody in the channel, good or bad, ugly, if you like. The one question that's mentioned quite a lot is I see people like this one. I see people walking around. Very few people have any bags. So, I mean, it's not I don't think even in Australia people are like literally carrying shopping bags. The only time I ever see like people with lots of shopping bags is at Christmas. Honestly and truly, I don't even see in my own shopping center in Rockingham people carrying bags, if you like. People go to the shops more often here, especially where they live locally, and don't typically go and do big shopping, where they go and buy, more things at the same time. And then the same with the supermarket videos. People ask why people don't have any food in their shopping baskets. Like with America or like Walmarts and stuff, or in Australia where you go to Coles or Woolies and you do your weekly or fortnightly shopping, and you'd have like a half or full shopping basket, maybe. And typically in a lot of the shopping centers here, or supermarkets, people just buying things for the next day or two, like 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days, and they just literally buy a handbasket of things. A ton of people don't live where the shops are. They like with the Solaris or Globus where I go to, people pass through there, through the train station and bus station and metro station, to and from work or school or wherever they're going. So they buy just enough for one bag of groceries or one backpack or whatever, because most of them are on public transport. So there's not, if you look around in Globus, for instance, and actually in the $1 video, the $1 challenge video, Globus, there in Usher in particular, they've got these baskets which are like little trolleys with just a hand basket that goes on top. And people that's probably their average shopping. It's just the hand basket of things. And then they'll go shopping a few days later, so so it's, let's bring up the screen sharing here. This is probably not the right thing to do, but these are the ones I've not replied to, by the way. So these are all the newest ones from 6 minutes ago. So some people obviously about certain countries. Actually some people mentioned so I've been visited by a troll farm. So where people are putting bad comments about certain things. I'm sending this to the American government. Russia's going to be the new North Korea. Russia sucks. Sorry. Amazing mole, beautiful Russians. So you kind of get like good and bad. Which Russian propaganda agency paid for your trip? Russ Baby. Randall Reed. So maybe, sorry, if you're in the comments, if you're in the chat and you're getting your comment read out, I'm sorry. That's probably not the right thing to do. Food looks absolutely incredible. I could spend all day there. Says Jesus was a Hun. So, yeah, I mean that's the toy. I'm going to get it wrong. Toy Dom. My house is the name of the store. Kind of had the grocery store. It looked like an IKEA inside. The food looks, so beautiful building. That was the GUM Mall. Okay. And that was the GUM, which is the main shopping center right across from the Kremlin and the Red Square. Could be worse. It could be okay. Talking about the shopping center. I'll be taking note which shops are still doing business in Russia. Colorphonics with a British flag. Working day second. Yeah, so this one is Russell. It's mid-time of the working day. This is when I went to the luxury shopping mall there. It's a working day. And secondly, they spell expensive goods. Not find people there. It has nothing to do with sanctions. Right, yeah, so that shopping center, it did go midweek. Thank you for the video. It would be interesting to see how these glamorous stores change in Russia. to the domestically replaced stores. Yeah, this is one thing I talked about with this couple today, was about the, will these brands return? Will they just reopen? Will things obviously change in the next 3 months, 6 months, tomorrow? And I mean, a lot of them have got incredibly complex agreements, particularly even just with the shopping center, like the contract for the lease agreement of the stores, and it's not a matter of just reopening or staying closed and things like that. At least the buildings are still intact. Thank you, Russ. There's a good one. Buck Fizzard. Yeah, there's not so many good ones. Don't see many customers. Will not have any containers before long, none coming. So yeah, that's, I guess, Keith Wheeler. That's reference to, where, these shops have closed because of self-sanctioning. So, they've not closed because they were told to close. I mean, the brands themselves decided to close on their own back, I guess, or free will. Open but with no customers. I mean, this is Avia Park, which is pretty much clearly the biggest shopping mall in Russia. And, it looks quiet because it's a huge shopping mall over 4 levels. So you could have a few thousand people in there and it still look empty. Such places are for the very wealthy, but they're still cool. That's actually when I did the downtown video the other day. The one with empty streets. Oh, it looks like Zen was with you. Yeah, Zen was in the video. So yeah, he was. Yeah, I didn't remember the guy was playing an accordion, by the way, in the video when I walked right past him. I'll just scroll. These are all the ones that I haven't replied to. That's it. I think I'm right down to the bottom there. Maybe they start getting rid of them after a certain time. Yeah, it goes back to 3 months ago. So yeah, it's very interesting, like there's plus, pros and cons and plus and minus. You mean the comments are all over the place. I mean, the amount I've had to delete as well. Literally, I'll just I won't ban or block them. I'll just delete the comments. I don't think it's a matter of punishing people because of what they've said, So, Viking, how's it going? Oh, in a Prelivka. Oh, you got to. Where am I up to here? Roman says, I have a flight tomorrow from Vnukovo tomorrow evening till May 11th. After that, I will be mostly free. Oh, perfect. And you're going to Vnukovo Airport. You're going up the road from where I am. It is literally up the road from me, but obviously that highway system from a Prelivka on Kiev highway, it's like it's like quite a distance, literally, technically, to get there by car, but it's really quite close. Yeah, so definitely let's somehow try to catch up and go wherever you live or I live. That's been deleted. Okay, take it off. Okay, sorry. You could say that about the 7-Elevens. They just do not know. Yeah, you could say that about the 7-Elevens. They just do not know what Russian shopping is like. I live in the country most of the time, so I only shop one time a month. I look like a pig. Sorry, Ironwood, for reading it out, but yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, that was one thing that my wife found hard to grasp when we came to Australia. And, my mum is very traditional like that. She does her weekly shopping. She might go twice a week now and just do less, go to 2 different supermarkets, but she'd get her basket. She'd go up and down all the aisles, fill her trolley with whatever she's buying. Especially when I'm there, you know, she'd buy a little bit more than just living with dad. My sister now has obviously moved out a lot of years ago. Or she'd be planning for something for the weekend. Maybe people are coming over for a meal or for lunch or something. And she'd buy like half a basket of stuff. Whereas here in Russia, pretty much you're buying, you know, for a day or two's worth. Even today, I went into Ashan. I didn't film in there, but you know, you can see people just literally buying, you know, one shopping bag of things, which is 2 or 3 days worth at the most. Maybe even just for 1 day or 2 days. You know, I kind of literally came home with nothing in my bag. I had my bottle of water, and then I just called at the local shop before coming home. I brought some water, bought a big bottle of water. We drink water not from the tap here, from bottled water. And then I bought some noodles. What else did I buy? Oh, some potato chips. But I could have bought them when I was at the shopping center, but I didn't want to carry them home. And they're just the same price or cheaper here at the local store than they were going to be at the shopping center or the supermarket. So there's no need for me to carry things, you know, that many things, you know, home. So, so Karen wants to know, what time is it there? So it's now 10:27 p.m. 30th of April 2022. So yeah, this is actually part of the reason I wanted to do it today. Was it was the last calendar day of the month, to see kind of the number of views that it would reach calendar day wise for the entire month, because I know it's going to be a record. Even if I compare it to my cruise channel, the most views I got at one time was when I did before the COVID lockdown of the ships. I was on board for 3 weeks with no passengers, and I did like an empty cruise ship video tour where I walked around, you know, so it was that had like 28,000 views in a few days. Then it basically just stopped then after that. So Viking was a butcher. Yes. I am a butcher. Oh, hang on a second. Viking, are you the butcher from the train station shops, or from the arena at the Kiev highway? Because we have two butchers. I don't want to be bad to one butcher and not the other. We have one at the shops at the highway, and we got one at the train station. So, oh, is it going to be again a comment as quick as I'm reading here? Oh, now I can't translate. Oh my gosh. Copy, translate. Oh. At the fair. Which fair? Oh, is that the one at the by the train station? So guys, I got a couple of the butchers that I got them to subscribe to the channel. So in Russian it translates to fair. So yeah, we pretty much don't buy any meat at the supermarket at all here, or even at the Pitorichka or Ashan or Globus. We buy it only at our local 2 different butchers that we go to. We can buy kind of what we want, the weight that we want, you know, the particular cut of meat that we want. And we don't even buy a chicken at the supermarket anymore. We buy like chicken legs or chicken wings at the butcher also. There's a chicken butcher, I guess, if that's such a thing. So, but you need butchers that will process wild game as well. Yeah, the butchers that we go to here, I'm pretty sure they've just got pork and pig. I always have to say pig, because when you say pork in Russian, in English, you've got to say pig when you're looking at the pork. So yeah, beef, and the chicken one is like another lady in the other part of the market. So yeah, that's living in Australia too. We didn't really go to a butcher. We found one at where we were living that we ended up going to a lot. My wife really liked going there because it felt like Russia. Yeah. Excuse me. So, and they were actually, Gary, they were they were German guys. I think were they brothers or brother-in-laws? Um, they were Germans. No, Dutch. Oh my God, sorry. I'll have to ask Jen now later where they were from. But yeah, it's in Australia you typically just go to the supermarket and buy your meat, whatever's on special that week. This is Coles and Woolies, the two different brands we've got. We primarily shop, so yeah, it's just different here. I mean, I literally could walk how far? Not even a kilometer to 5 or 6 different shops and do shopping. I mean, it might seem like it's petty like that, buying one thing from one from another, one from another, but it's local businesses at the same time as well. So you're supporting the local economy. You know, if people were really like anti countries, I mean, Ashan is French. Let's not shop in French supermarkets anymore. I mean, I'm fairly certain every person at Ashan today had no worry about that part about shopping. Let me not go there because it's from a certain country. One thing that this couple mentioned to me today, where I said about, I asked them, do you think McDonald's will reopen? And she's like, yeah, it will. It'll reopen. It'll take time, but it will. And I'm like, what about all these clothing stores and all these brands and everything? And she kind of mentioned that, there's a possibility that Russia could sign sort of agreements that wouldn't let them reopen, or wouldn't let, unfriendly countries do business in Russia. So, I mean, would that happen? I don't know. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, even from a retail background, I think it's just too complicated in your head to think about. Small butchers are much better than the big ones. Yes, I completely agree. Having gone to them now more than ever. It'll be weird going back to Australia, then going to the supermarket to look for things. I mean, Ashan today has a meat section, chicken section. I mean, it's just where we live, we can go to the local place, find pretty much the same price as well. There's not really a savings in supermarkets here compared to a butcher necessarily. So Gary wants to know, what's the worst weather you've cruised in? I've been through a few hurricanes. Hurricane Sandy, I remember very well. I mean, I don't remember every name of every hurricane. I mean, Katrina's obviously the famous one, if you like, when that happened. But Hurricane Sandy was the one that went through the east coast of the US, Virginia, and then up to New York on the east coast. I think it even got right up to Canada. We were on a ship out of Norfolk, Virginia at the time. And we basically had to end the cruise early. So we came back to port to take all the passengers off the ship. And then we went out to sea, literally just riding it out because it's safer at sea than it is in port. And we were, I think, 6 extra days. We canceled the next cruise. And then we literally sailed up and down that east coast, just avoiding any weather you can. It's hard to avoid it if it's, the size of hurricanes once they form. So, and that was actually one of the few times I didn't sleep in my cabin. I slept on the deck 5, which was the promenade, which is where the casino is and the shops and the coffee shops and karaoke bar was. And a lot of crew chose not to sleep in their cabins. There was no guests on board either. So we basically just took a computer up there, a laptop up there, watched movies because it was just too rough in our cabins. The ship couldn't avoid the rough weather. I mean, the captain will still sail to the better seas and better conditions, but without guests on board, he has a little bit more tolerance for the safety of everybody. But Hurricane Sandy, I don't know when that was now. I mean, that was probably quite a few years ago. When was Hurricane Sandy? When was that? October 24, 2012. Oh my gosh, there you go. It was 10 years ago. $70 billion in damage and killed 233 people. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, went right up that east coast, formed off Jamaica, went through Dominican Republic, off the coast of Florida, and right up to that east coast of America there. Yeah, we were right there. I remember that kind of, well, not that track, but now when you look at it on Google, it's crazy. New supermarkets is open near our house, Perry Crossdock. It's so big and have a lot of goods. Maybe you should film it, but not on holidays. Yeah, I went to yesterday when I went on this $1 river cruise. $1 cruise. I went to the Perry Crossdock in Afia Mall. So for anyone that doesn't know, in Moscow center, where all the it's called New Moscow City, where all the big skyscrapers are. If anyone's seen that kind of, let's pull up Google. Let's do this. Let's do screen sharing again. My favorite thing while we're doing this, because it's kind of interesting. Moscow City makes a lot more sense. So in Moscow, images. Oh, what's going on? My internet doesn't like me as much. So there is actually, this is right where I cruise from. That picture's going to be blurry. Oh no. This one might be better. Oh, this is a perfect picture of it. So this is where you see the boat right there under Bagatron Bridge. That's called Bagatron Bridge right there. That boat pulled up just over here on the right. And then that's New Moscow City right there. And they have a shopping mall inside underneath these buildings called Afia Mall. Afia Mall? No. Moscow City Mall. Afia Mall. Yeah, that's the shopping. That's the inside of the shopping mall there. Afia Mall is the name of it. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Yeah, that's the multi-level sort of shopping center there. And there was a full supermarket in there called Perry Crossdock, which was beautiful. I actually bought a sandwich and I had a drink. They had like a cafe inside, a little sit-down area. And Perry Crossdock is a beautiful supermarket to go to. Perry, how do you spell it? P-E-R-E, Cress. Pictures of Perry Crossdock? No. That's a shame. There's no photos of Perry Crossdock. Oh, there's some fruit and vegetables in there. That's Perry Crossdock pretty much. It's a very nice supermarket. It's not luxury. It's kind of middle of the road, I guess. Supermarket. There it is. That's interesting. They've got big circles around people's heads. Yeah, that's where I went yesterday and got a sandwich and a drink, and it was such a nice supermarket to go in. So, Vet's wife, how's it going? Good to see you live, I guess. Thanks for commenting on videos. I have 2 new videos that I'm planning to put out. So you guys, I only have like 1 vote for each. So you've got the choice of either a shopping mall tour where the shops open and closed. I guess it's kind of a refilm of one of the older videos, or the $1 river cruise. So I guess I honestly thought people would choose the river cruise. That's a little bit shorter video, by the way, because I think it's going to edit a lot out of it. Because again, I didn't really do cinematic filming of things like I wish I could. Oh, Gary, I knew you'd vote for the river cruise. You want me to film things that are not going to the shops and things like that. So tomorrow, I don't know if I'll end up waking up early enough. I want to go to a flea market tomorrow at Izmailova. So Moscow Projects, you probably know that well. If you know any other flea markets that I could go to, let me know. something similar to Ismailova, where they've got that kind of outdoor flea market kind of thing, or car boot sales. We call them swap meets in Australia, by the way. That's what we call flea markets. Yeah. Oh, Vet's wife is also voting for the river cruise. Yeah, it's a $1 river cruise. It'll look good, I think, the video once it's put together. So I think that the title is going to be "I went on a $1 cruise in Russia." So, and I need to get I'm gonna have to get like a clickbait kind of photo of another boat that I went on. I think not the boat that I was actually on. So, Pete wants to know why don't you drink the tap water, Russell? I didn't drink the water when I was there in '88. There are brown stuff in the bottom of the glass. My wife has always ever had like bottled water. Like we buy kind of like I guess it's 5-liter or 4-liter containers, like water, like big handled jugs of water. Supposedly the water quality out of the tap isn't drinkable. I brush my teeth with it. I don't really not do that. I know my wife boils it and drinks tea and coffee with it, but she won't literally put a glass under the tap and drink it. So I guess technically it's probably not good water. No one's ever given me the straight answer, like it's not great water or it is great water. So yeah, yeah, it's always I think that's a normal thing for all Russians. I think it is. I mean, the funny thing is though, our friend that lives in Aprelivka also here, she lives, I guess, on the other side of the train line, on the other side of the train tracks. She has absolutely beautiful, clean drinking water. And even when we don't really do it, but when friends go around there and we go around there, they bring empty water jugs and fill up the water from her, I guess from her tap, I don't know, or outside tap. And it's absolutely beautiful drinking water. And there is, I should go do like a short video, like a 60-second video, literally one street from us, maybe two. I can see it from here anyway. There is actually a water, it looks like a water well coming out the ground, I don't know if you see shots on TV sometimes where people are gathering around like a water well in the street where they're putting water into jugs. They have one a couple of streets from us, and it's like a public water well. And obviously that's clean, perfectly good drinking water. So yeah, river cruise. Oh, river cruise everywhere. Oh. Everybody wants the river cruise. Maybe I will do that one first then. It's kind of more interesting in terms of the title and the I don't know which picture of the boat I'm going to use. So I'm a little bit excited when I talk in the video too, because I'm pointing out some buildings and some old buildings as the boat's going along. It's going very slow on the river, right? It's the Moscow River. And I've done a few river cruises on the same river. I mean, it's not new for me, but it's just the whole thing that it was 99 rubles or $1 for the cruise. So it was nice and cheap. So sorry, I just need to look at my phone just for a second. Now I can look away. Yeah, what time are we at here? So we're all right. We're gonna go for 15 more minutes. I think exactly 15 more minutes, if that's good for everybody. Oh, Pappy Hook, hello from USA. Did I mention hello just then? Sorry if I didn't. USA is here. Yes. Nice. Someone actually mentioned in a comment or somewhere about, can Americans still come to Russia? I mean, any country can still come here. You just have to be able to find flights for one. You'd have to get a visa where you need a visa. Most people need either a tourist visa or like an invite visa, like an invite visa. You need an invite as part of the visitor's visa, which if you're going through a travel agency, that's pretty much part of your application anyway, if you're booking like a hotel stay. So yeah, I mean, come. I mean, the thing for most people, maybe it's difficult to go through the embassies. So wherever the embassy is in the country where you're going to do it, like in Australia, the embassies in the Russian embassies in Sydney and Canberra, and I live in Perth. So you've got to send everything by post over to Sydney, and they've got to send it back again. So that's not an easy process as it could be. If I lived in Sydney, you can go there, drop it off, and then whatever time it takes to give you the visa and get it back, So yeah, we have water filters at home for drinking water. It's very good Russian filter name, Giza 3. I even drink not boiled water. Oh, yeah, we don't have filtered water here. We literally just buy bottled water from the store. I went to Magnet on the way home and got a jug of water for the kitchen here. So yeah, I know some people do have filtered water. We don't have it set up in this where we're renting here. So actually, my wife's got a bottle of water in the background. You can just see in the background right here. So yeah, cruises are more interesting than shopping at these higher prices today. It's interesting why they did like 199 ruble cruise. I think because it's like a one-way cruise as well. It didn't come back to the same starting point. So a lot of them you can get on and off at the same place. So obviously you can get home from there. Wasn't really an issue for me because I was where it was going to end. I could easily go to the train station anyway. So yeah, old pipes, and if they had bad water run through them, they could make the water bad. Most of the time, they will run a large amount of chlorine through them to clean them and then make the pipes safe. Yeah, that would be very probably what they do, especially in older apartment buildings. I think that'd be a big factor in how old the building is that you're living in and the age of the pipes, and even goes for the electricity as well, like the cabling in apartments. Where people buy and renovate older buildings, they literally strip everything out of them, absolutely everything. The pipes, the cables, everything right down to the wall, and replace everything because some of the buildings are considerably older here. And maybe at the time of construction, it wasn't great, especially the older panel buildings, the 5-level Mashrutka? No, Mashrutka. Was it called Mashrutka? Mashunka, no? The 5-level buildings here, they're like the panel buildings that were built basically in huge amounts in a short period of time. They were just mass produced and mass built. And maybe the quality of construction wasn't there at the time, So probably the older pipes are a big reason why people don't probably drink tap water. So yeah. Interesting. Yeah, 45 likes, by the way. So yeah, we might get. Well, will we get to 50? I wonder. Yeah, was it TT's who was on like watch last time? She was watching how many likes we had on the video. So I hope people have enjoyed the live stream and the chat. It's going to the shopping center today, I mean, it really isn't a big difference walking around in terms of the shops that were open and closed. I mean, there was more people there, a lot more families with kids. So it's, I mean, the supermarket was as busy as ever. I didn't really walk in there too much. I didn't need to go get anything. So I went in and got a bottle of water. And that was it. I was in and out in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I didn't wander around the supermarket like I sometimes do. So, Krashovka. Yes. Thank you, Boris. Oh, and hello to you as well, Boris. Krashovka. Yeah, they're the 5-level buildings. They call them panel buildings. I guess some people call them that. They were basically prefabricated multi-level apartments, which were 5 levels. These Khrushchevkas, I mean, they're everywhere in Russia. I mean, probably more so in a lot of regional areas than maybe here this is Moscow region where I am, but especially in Moscow center, there's not as many that you see around. They basically went from 5 levels and they went to 9 levels. And then after that, there was, there's no end to how big they can be. And then in the center of Moscow, there's the Stalinkas. Stalinka is like the Stalinist style of construction. And that's what my wife wants to live in eventually, is a Stalinka. These old, they're so ornate, the buildings. It's beautiful, like the stone buildings, apartments. That's my wife's dream, is to live in Stalinka in Moscow center somewhere. So actually, when I asked somebody, I think I even asked Real Moscow, would you live right in Tverskaya Street, which is one of the main roads leading down to Red Square? And she said, no, I don't want to live there because it's too noisy because of the traffic. You can never go out on your balcony because there's too much noise and traffic. So, I kind of see her point that you don't want to live there. I mean, I'd want to live there because it's Moscow center. And then I said to her, I don't, there's no shopping, there's no supermarkets nearby to go shopping if you live so close to the center of Moscow. So living out in the suburbs like I do, everything's so much easier to go to and get to, apart from going to Moscow and back, you've got to do that traveling on the bus there. So, thanks for reminding to hit the like button. Yes, 47 we're at. So thank you. And we had a couple of super chats earlier as well. That's on the same screen I'm looking at right here. So thank you very much. Yeah, obviously these apartment blocks were named after Nikita Khrushchevka. Yes, I really like them, by the way. I know some people hate them. I don't know if anyone watches Bald and Bankrupt. He's an English guy, Benjamin. He was living in Russia on and off, in Belarus. I believe he lives in Czech Republic now, in Prague. But he makes videos. He was making them traveling around a lot of regions of Russia. And he loves the old Russian architecture and the old Soviet and, look and feel to everything when he walks around and films. And I kind of like that too when I see it. You know what I mean? I know it's for the next person here, it's the, everyday place. And, but for me, it's like, oh, wow. And I say that a lot. This is huge. This is big. This is amazing. This is that. And it's, to see the Khrushchevkas and just just to know the amount of people that live there over the years, the history of those people that live there, what they've lived through. And, some people live there to this day. A lot of, younger people maybe have moved into family members' apartments. And even we've got a friend's mother. When we visit her apartment, it's like exactly the same as it was probably when she first moved in or when she first bought the place. Then you go to other friends and they've completely renovated it like IKEA style inside. I love even when I walk around where I live here. I mean, our apartment's 14 level. It's modern looking apartment building, and then further away, close to the train station, is the older buildings as well. So, how often do you see Russell, how often do you see actual American cars? Actually, American cars you don't see very often in terms of, like, let's say, pickup trucks or utes or big 4x4 style cars. You don't see very much of. You see occasionally like the Chevy Tahoes. Actually, you see them around a little bit. I mean, a little, like tiny bit. Like Chevy Suburbans, like that kind of car. You don't see kind of that very typical American big pickup trucks and, let's say minivans. You don't see them very often here. there's a lot more. You see Japanese cars, of course, Hyundai, Nissan, Toyota, all these, but a lot of them have got manufacturing in Russia. So, it's not that the fact that they're American. There's very few American imported cars, if that's really the right word to say. You'll see if I go into Moscow Center, I mean, I could probably do an entire video just of luxury cars and, the amount of Mercedes that you see on the road here, BMW, Porsche, it's insane. I mean, actually, I was even looking when I walked past the State Duma, the state capitol building, they've got Ford Mondeos, which is very typically an English a state car or a business car, Ford Mondeos. It's just funny to see all this row of Ford Mondeos parked up there. So it's there's not that many American cars. To say USA cars, I mean, I would imagine there's people who do import them, but they're paying a ton of money. I mean, they're not. They're doing it because they want that real American, not so car, but truck or vehicle, I'm not sure. Just let me live in a log cabin. What's the name of that word there? Let me just Google what that word is so I know the name. Sorry, everybody. Oh, log cabin. Okay. Oh, you've actually translated to log cabin. Yeah, we have our friend here who lives, Tanya, her name is. She actually has a kind of fairly big piece of land where she lives, and she's building her forever home on that same land. But she's actually got a log cabin where she's living now. It's a prefabricated, like where they prefabricate the logs, and then they link them together, and they put the roof on, and that's the house that she's currently living in on her land here in Aprelivka. And it's got like a mezzanine upstairs with a like bedroom, and it's got like a bedroom and like a sitting area on the upper balcony area, like a mezzanine. And then it's got a small kitchen, bathroom, laundry downstairs, like a lounge room. Then there's a big brick fireplace with a chimney that goes right through the top of the log cabin roof, and then she's got another fireplace that's built into where the kind of the bathroom is, and then into the banya, into the steam room. Yeah, it's a beautiful looking log cabin when you see it, especially in winter time. It's like so winter, Christmas looking. Now it's summertime, it looks a little different. Or it's springtime. The history of Khrushchevka is very interesting, by the way. They were very progressive when they were built. Yeah, I think just the fact that they built so many of them so quickly, and how quickly they put them up, was kind of just to create accommodation, right? So yeah, Bald's last video is very good. He really does have class and good manners. Yeah. If you watch the one about Syria, I guess he went to Syria, and then he was at one point before everything happened. Actually, it was really during the COVID thing where they had the non-working days. When I first got here, he was doing the Trans-Siberian Railway, and then he ended it early because they had a lockdown, and he basically flew back to St. Petersburg. But just the fact that he can speak fluent conversation Russian with people, and he interacts with anybody that he meets, and I think that makes the videos. I mean, I know that he basically has that love and passion for all things Russian, and it comes across in the videos very well. And that's the thing. Like with me, like when we went to Ufa to see my wife's family, and like her auntie lived in like a little bit more quieter part of Ufa, well away from Ufa. You know what I mean? And very simple life, she does a lot of her own gardening and has vegetables growing in the summertime, and goes to the local shops, gets what she needs, doesn't have any kind of, she's retired, right? So she doesn't have any kind of elaborate lifestyle, but it's very simple, slow pace of life. All I really ever want is for the computer to work, be able to watch some sport. And that's all I really need, I don't need too much in my life. I mean, like Ironwood saying there, the log cabin and you're happy. I mean, that's enough for me as well to a point. As long as I've got that kind of little basics of life, like my computer here. I've got this exact setup that I had in Australia, apart from this microphone and light and everything's new, but I kind of duplicated what I had in Australia so I can feel like I'm still sitting there, on the same desk. Actually, same legs for the desk as well. So, all right, everybody. I think we've come to the time at the end of the video. Actually, we're on 49 likes. Oh my gosh. Do you think we can squeeze one more like? I wonder if it's going to tick over to 50 likes. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to thank everybody who's watched tonight's Saturday live stream. I hope you've enjoyed the chat with me here in my Moscow kitchen, here in Moscow, Russia. Thanks everybody that's put a conversation into the chat. We are still on 49 likes. So, Russell. Sorry, I'm reading my own name. Russell, the sea is in your blood. Yes. It's, I've been a few years away from it now, so I'm growing to, I'm not growing to miss it. I'm not missing it as much as I did in the first months and year or so coming home from cruise ships. I could probably say immediately after getting off the ships, I missed it. I think the main thing for me was to find a job like doing retail on the ships and duty free and finding something that I could do in Australia that was my skill set that really helped. You know what I mean? I kind of had a purpose to go to work every day. I knew what I had to do, my tasks, doing these night refits of supermarkets. You know what I mean? I had a bit of freedom of being able to do what I enjoyed doing. And that helped a lot. Cruise ships, there's a big factor around it. It's not a matter of working on cruise ships, to do your work. You've got to be able to live on a cruise ship. And that's something you've got to really learn that over time and get that into your head and adapt to that lifestyle. You know what I mean? You could say that about any job, right? But, to be able to do your job, but then on a cruise ship is another whole sort of story to it. So, yeah, Ironwood said he sees 50 likes. I only see 49 over on my screen here. So I think I'm on a bit of a delay to what it comes up. So I'll have to wait till that 50 pops up. Ironwood, Gary, Pappy Hook. Oh, Pappy, yeah, that's right, Pappy. Oh, now, sorry. Yeah. And peace, thank you. I'm glad again you like my videos. I appreciate you to watch them. And I wonder if anyone watched like that 100,000 view video twice. Maybe some people did just to get it over the 100,000. So thanks, Ironwood as well. Gary, thank you for being a moderator and also Real Moscow Projects as well. Thank you all for your patronage. Yes, that's very nice words. Yeah, and again, thanks for the super chats earlier. That was very nice of people to do that. Again, we'll do the microwave video when we go and sort of. My wife wants a new. What does she need? The vacuum for her nail salon table. The vacuum she has, like the suction for when you do nails. If you've ever been on a nail table, there's a vacuum that draws the dust into a bag underneath. So that needs replacing. So that's actually now next on the list to go and get a new one of those. We just have to go to this nail salon place across the other side of Moscow, this like supplier of nail salon equipment. So Oh, there you go. Oh, and your Sasha says also to say thank you. Yes, thank you, Sasha. I assume he's your partner of some kind, so I'm not sure what your relationship is. A new vacuum super chat. So, yeah, actually my wife's nail salon needs a few things doing to it, Gary. It's not just the vacuum, it's the client chair, like the person that gets their nails done, the chair. We were actually, funny enough, we were actually going to go to IKEA to get a chair from there, because we had one in Australia, a beautiful one that I ended up selling, the client chair, and then we were going to get the same one here. Jen kind of inherited everything in the salon when she took it over. So that chair that's a very simple, cheap chair to replace. But the pedicure chair, the one that you sit on to do your nails for your legs, for your toes, that's another story altogether. So yeah, the vacuum, sorry, super chat. Now you send the super chat, Gary. Thank you. Thank you. The vacuum super chat. Thanks. It's very appreciated. Sorry, I'm just staring over here at the super chat. So, yeah, that's actually the priority before the microwave. Because I said to my wife since we first got here, I said, make a list of things that you need for your salon. Once she took it over, it needed a few things not fixing, like replacing. Even buying the coffee machine and everything. And I set up a little coffee table for the coffee machine, coffee station. Even that was a little bit of a task to sort of set that up. So then I sorted all the cables out under the salon table, because she's got like a cable running for the nail dryer. She's got a cable for the fan, a cable for the lights. So yeah, thank you, Gary. That's very appreciated. In euros as well. Thank you for euros. I like this E on your. Now, what's going on too with all your gas in Europe as well, Gary? Now, there's a big gas problem with Europe. So, guess we won't talk about that. Another video. Okay, everybody. 50 likes. We've hit 50 likes. I see it now on the screen over here. It's really over here, but if you're looking on the camera, it's over there. So, all right, I'm going to go. It's my time to relax a little bit and de-stress my cheekbones. All right, thanks everybody for watching Traveling with Russell. If you're watching it on replay, thank you for getting to the very end. I think that's probably brave of you to be able to watch it this far through. Thanks for everyone that's put comments, especially a lot of the community of the channel already. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. More videos to come. I've got 2 that are ready to go pretty much. I think everyone wanted the cruise video first, and then we'll do the closed store shopping center review one later. So yeah, and then tomorrow if I go to the flea market, I'll see what I can film there. My wife told me not to go because she knows they don't like me filming at the flea markets. Some people are okay about it, because it's kind of interesting, but you might get the next person doesn't like anything about me holding a camera. So I just like walking around it anyway. So, all right. Catch you next time. Oh, Matt. Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you. Again, if you're new to typing here in the comments, I can't see people who don't type something. So it does show a list of participants, but it has to be from somebody typing something. So thanks, Matt, for watching, and everybody else. All right. End of broadcast. Thanks for watching Traveling with Russell. This is how I do my sign-offs, right? With my awkward wave. Bye, everybody.